let's focus to something that touches every product, every shelf, and every consumer interaction. That's packaging. Welcome to our next session, Packed Like a Pro, Smart, Sustainable, and Sensorial. Packaging today is no longer just functional. It's emotional, it's digital, it's sustainable. This session brings together experts from beauty, food, regulatory, and manufacturing to explore how brands are turning packaging into a growth engine, from innovation to compliance to consumer connection. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a moderator for this session, Dr. Prabodh Halde. Can we have a huge round of applause for him, please? Head Global Regulatory, Public Policy and Advocacy, Marico Limited. I can't hear the applause. What happened? Come on. A respected voice at the intersection of science, regulation, and strategy. Joining him on stage, we have with us Sridhar J., Head Packaging, Pure Play Skin Sciences Private Limited. A warm welcome to Sridhar. Joining them, we have Peter K.A., AVP Packaging Development, Godrej Consumer Products. And joining them, we have Vaibhav Dikshit, Director, Alpla Group, India. Over to our moderator.
Thank you. After Revant, I think our session will not be so sensational and it will be on the science. Correct? So please give them a big hand, ek baar jor se taali, and I think they have not given us the lunch time also. Have you had a lunch or you are without food? No problem. So today we are going to have three eminent personalities in the packaging area. Before I start, how many of you believe that packaging is very important for our business? Raise the hand. Great. So packaging has a basic function of carrier, transportation, preservation of the food, but now it has gone beyond. This was the traditional belief that packaging means only for the protection. But today the packaging, when we see, it is not for protection. Also there is an angle of sustainability. Is also angle of sensorial thing, like people want to pick me up. So when it is keeping in the any of the big shop, your packaging should call out and the packaging should say to the consumer that yes, please pick me up. So it is a sensorial, sustainable, and also the packaging has become a smart, like smartphone. So our theme of the talk will be on all the three S: smart, sustainable, and sensorial. And we have three people: smart, sustainable, and sensorial. So with these three eminent personalities, also now in the packaging there are many compliances, regulatory burden which have started. Like 30% of the total product which you are selling need to be recyclable, using the recyclable, sustainable. And investors are also talking about your packaging nowadays. So packaging has become a hot topic. So we have three personalities I mentioned, and without taking much time, now I am asking one by one on these three themes of sustainability, smart, and sensorial about the consumer. So what are your basically the opening statement, and you can actually elaborate with your example and with your experience. So starting with Vaibhav.
So I just want to give a heads up to the audience. I was invited about an hour ago because somebody else dropped out. So, and I just want to, for timekeeping, let you know at 3:15 I have to rush to the other side because I have a formal presentation there. Yeah. So thank you, and I've accepted. I've done the best I could in the last 45 minutes to prepare. So what I've done is I've got some samples out in front of me because there are certain subjects that we spoke about. So I've been traveling the world for various expos like Cosmoprof. We have Beauty Middle East. We have expos on products that are also, for mass marketing, so food and so on and so forth. So there's certain topics I'd like to touch on that I've just written down here. So we have, essentially, we're looking on the sustainability side or functionality side. So I have products here in front of me which are ranging from a 1 rupee product where the packaging is very unique. essentially it eliminates counterfeiting, and it's got PCR inside as well, so it is sustainable. On the other side, we have on the sensory side, which is on the minimalism side. This is a brand in America. It's called Monday. It's quite simple. Now there's a competitor called Tuesday. It's quite simple. It's functional. There's printing here. It's a quick release, open top. It's also got PCR in it. Then we have something quite unique. I understand that India believes that we have a lot of good packaging in the world of pain. We have Zandu Balm, we have Amrutanj, and so on and so forth. But I have to hand it to Tiger Balm. They have made quite a breakthrough. We are all aware of the Vicks inhaler, right? So if you could just hold the mic for a second, I'll just show functionally what this product does. I have no shares in this company. I'm just showing you what they do, okay? Yeah. So this is one side. This is a normal inhaler, functional. On the other side, this thing opens up, and it works as an ointment as well. This is not something India has had for 30 years, you know. And then if you look at this kind of a product, it's just a mouth freshener, but it's very interesting. It took me a while to figure out how it opens up or what's where. It looks like a lipstick, but it's not. It's a mouth freshener. So that's what packaging brings to you. It gives you a lot of options to play. You differentiate yourself. You see what you're selling. You sell who you're selling to. So we're looking from a range from 1 rupee all the way to about 1100 rupees. So we have a whole range of products over here. So this is what is possible with packaging. This is my opening statement to you.
Thank you, Vaibhavji. I think you have kept all the products and they are actually the product themselves. It's not a packaging. They are actually the product. Thank you. So now we come to Peter, and having you what 25-year experience in the packaging, and as we are also looking for what you want to bring to the table.
See, all the three subjects, which is sensorial, smart, sustainability, all three are very important today, the way packaging is changing gears in these times. But first of all, my congratulations or applause to Vaibhav for 45 minutes. That has been smart, that getting ready for a session like this, and also showing some of the smart packaging. If I look at it from my point of view, if I consider smart, sensorial, and sustainability, if I have to pick one, I'll say sustainability is the cornerstone, or that is the foundation on which the packaging is pivoting or building around. That is how it should be built around. The reason is multiple. If you look at smart or sensorial, they are more enablers and enhancers. Consumers want it, may not want it, the way we understand it. When I look at sensorial or a part of smart packaging, I'll put it under a bucket. Rather, I would call it consumer experience, and I'll put it in under that. The reason is consumer experience means it's a two-way communication. When I'm talking about sensorial, when I'm talking about smart, it's sort of a one-way communication for me. Whereas when I'm talking about consumer experience, it is a two-way. Whatever I'm adding, I'm giving whether the consumer is accepting it or willing to pay for it. Whereas sustainability, when it comes, it is non-negotiable for three reasons, I would say. One is that consumers are becoming more and more aware. The new generation that are coming up, they are looking for it. Like in the previous session, somebody mentioned looking at the label, looking at the claim, whether what it is doing to the sustainability, that awareness is building. Second is that there are a lot of regulation that is coming globally, locally. Third is that there is also corporate responsibility through stakeholder and investor pressure that is coming onto the corporates. So, and all these three things basically come out from a single, I think, a basic human nature, that is survivability, which is that if I am not taking care of sustainability, my survivability becomes a question. So therefore, it is non-negotiable. The rest is built around it, and you can smartly build around it. That will be my take on that.
Thank you. Actually, Peter, what you said is about the sustainability is not about compliance, but it is way of doing the business. And if it is sustainable, then only we'll able to continue tomorrow. The future is actually based on what we are using today. Then only our next generation will call us. So thank you, Peter. And to now my friend Sridhar. And Sridhar has spent more than 30, 32 years, Sridhar? 30, 35 years. I think half of our audience are below 35 years in age, and you have experience of 35 years. So Sridhar, you have seen all the three evolution of the packaging. So over to you.
Thanks Prabodh, and I think good thoughts from Peter and Weber. And thanks to CMPL for inviting me to talk to you guys. I think all the Gen Z consumers are there, so I have to talk it carefully. Uh, uh, what I feel this entire thing on the sustainability part of it is that I think the focus has to be on the design, okay? And as Weber had shown, you know, if you start thinking about design, you know, in the first place, you know, you will tend to get into the sustainable. Dhanda nahi to sustainability nahi hai. So, you know, you have to be very careful on that. We need to be very cognizant of the fact that, you know, we have designs which is lovable by consumers, wanted by consumers, and, you know, they like it as we go over the years. And the business who does transformation in designs, and I know Alpla, I know Vagish ji, you know, the way the business has transformed themselves is the one which is sustainable. Okay, that is the next level of it, and not recycling or this thing. So that's what my thoughts are. And of course, the sensorials and all, which, you know, is a very important part, especially for the premium care business like us. And of course, AR and VR are the allied things, which is the next gen part of it. So that's what my thoughts are.
Actually, I like your statement, Sridhar, and you are saying it is not sensorial or sustainable, not necessary. It will add only cost to the packaging, but it is necessary. And also the consumer is asking it as a base, and they are comparing. Earlier, the consumer was more interested in the content, but today when you see and when you visit all the stalls, what you get attracted towards packaging. And consumer is also ready to pay for the packaging. And packaging is no more only the protection, as I said in opening, they become function of the product. Or without packaging, the products are not complete. But having said this, finally it comes to the cost, and also it comes to the regulations. Now I will go to the specific question to all. So I will start with Peter, if you are allow me to speak in your particular language. And as we are saying, the iPhone has become a smartphone, and AI has come, machine learning has come. So what about the packaging industry? We want to know what is happening in this space. How the packaging, we are saying the packaging has become a smart, but how exactly this smart, and what is happening in the space of AI and technological intervention, digital, how exactly we are converging the technology, digital mapping into the packaging, and can we get some examples in our own day-to-day uses, or it is very costly? So if you can throw light on this, on the smart space.
Yeah, Prabodh, if I look at smart packaging or the features, the enablers that come into smart packaging, I think we watch superhero movies. We are fans of the Disney or the Marvel universe or the DC comics. What happens is you see the superheroes change from one realm to another realm. I think the packaging is also changing from its current realm to another realm. That is what is happening today. Because the smart packaging, what we call in a broad sense, what it does is it is digitally, it is making an ecosystem of packaging with product and brand and connecting with consumers. When I look at, say, various technologies that is coming into from our Indian industry point of view, domestic industry point of view, we may not see many things that is coming up because of there is a cost element that is there. So if I stack the products from a luxury range to a prestige range to a mass range, we are largely, I think in our country, we operate in the mass range. The other, while there are sunrise sectors and there is rapid growth happening in those, the mass sector is something that is very affordable, very price sensitive. So when you look at these technologies that may be kind of the early adopters, maybe the, the luxury products and the prestige products. So look at, for example, you have RFID tags, you have NFC-enabled chips, then you have QR codes, then you have digital encryptions, you have blockchain-based logistics, then you have digital printing. There are, say, there are multiple options that is coming in terms of technology enablers. So what packaging has been, where the function has been protect and then preserve, that is the basic function, which is a very passive way of handling things, to a more active role. From a passive carrier, packaging is going to become an active enabler. That is where the transition is going to happen, and the technology is going to enable it. For example, we have a lot of product range where a leaflet, I'm taking a simple example which is there, where leaflets, you'll have to print, say, 12 languages, 13 languages, and stuff like that, and then print on a piece of paper and put it. That is something that is legally mandated for different categories of products. Look at a QR code, okay, wherein you are not just looking at something who can read. The technology will enable for anybody to understand the product usage based on their language preference by scanning. Then there are people with the disabilities. That is a section that we don't address. How a voice-enabled guideline for using a product or consumer engagement can happen in a QR code, and how the QR code, soon I think the two-dimensional barcode that we see in the market is going to kind of go away. We will be moving into a QR code, which will be a comprehensive code, which is giving you a barcode number, some consumer engagement connection to a digital world, even product-related information, product experience connect through a digital medium. So this is going to kind of make the consumer experience completely different. That is one aspect of it. The second aspect, that is about the consumer experience. While we are talking today, we are also doing some piloting where digital encryption of the print matter is going to kind of work for the anti-counterfeit feature, which is today we have a lot of features in the market which doesn't actually address the anti-counterfeit problem. This is through what we are trying to do is, it is not just tagging a right product, but it is also tagging location, geographical availability. It is also going to tag that in which area I have a higher counterfeiting problem, where my products are moving faster. So these are the kind of enablers that is going to completely change the consumer experience. Then it comes to circularity. Today there are a lot of pilot that is happening, not in India, but elsewhere, that how do we kind of track the product life cycle and then see how many times a packaging is going to go through the recycling cycle. So that is something that people are experimenting to track, that material will go through how many cycles of, say, recycling. Because the understanding is that it goes through every time of recycling, there is a product loss or a property loss. So how we can do that? So it is helping in circularity. Similarly, when it comes to even supply chain, simplifying the supply chain, that is one huge benefit that is going to come to the industry, the company, organizations, where the product can be kind of tracked real time, the authenticity of the product can be captured through the supply chain. The second is that you will have real-time stock data across the supply chain, and then the stock replenishment or the production can happen, which will also reduce inventory. Reducing inventory means you are directly reducing the cash required. So therefore, there are multiple areas where the digitization is going to, from a consumer experience to supply chain simplification, it is going to completely transform the packaging.
Thank you, Peter. I think you have explained it so nicely, and it is the talk of the town today, the digitalization and the basically how the smart packaging. And but just wanted to ask one more question: does it required not for mass market, or necessarily it is only for the class market, or it can have the low cost smart packaging? Is possible, or it is still away?
So depending on the cost of the technology, say yesterday owning a mobile was inaccessible for a normal common man.
So now
Today, now it has become. So it is a question of time. That is number
so
one.
it's a question of time. Very well.
It is a question of time.
Thank you.
Okay. The other thing is that there will be different sectors who will adapt different technologies depending
I
upon.
got the
their
point, because just wanted to give that message. It is not necessarily cost. Now coming to Vaibhav sir, about because he has now given the input about the smart, but the sustainability you spoke in your opening statement also, and actually Sridhar also said sustainability of the business is also important. It's not about only sustainability of the planet, but the business also need to be sustainable. So can you redefine the sustainability in the packaging? What exactly we are looking at, and how we actually comply with the commerce? Because finally any company will not do the sustainability initiative unless and until it is viable, and how the consumer also will accept it, because not necessary all the sustainable solutions are consumer friendly and the sensorially accepted by the consumer.
So there's multiple questions you've asked here. So I'll try to just make a mental note of it. So following are the facts and the realities. So when you look at the new PCR regulations, the pricing of post-consumer recycled material is more expensive than brand new virgin material. So this
It's
is a cost
20%
plus.
more. 20% more.
It's definitely cost plus. So depending on how much percentage you add, it can be up to 200% more, because there are some players who want to have 100% recycling. Some people want 30% or 20%, whatever the law is. As per that, your number is bang on correct. Then the other issue is with the availability of PCR, and the second is the quality of it. So these are procurement issues which are a reality not only in India but abroad as well. The reason the government has done this is basically they want the country to be clean and to raise the awareness, and they want to force this from the corporates and businesses to make the first push. So that's the overall arching theme, which is perfectly fine. Now coming to how to address these input costs and does the consumer pay for it, the answer is it all depends on which geography. So in America, there's a certain percentage, and then Europe is a much higher percentage that is willing to pay for it, and specifically looking for such brand owners. They're going out of their way to find such brands. In India, it's a niche right now, but awareness is starting to grow in tier 1 cities. But the answer is today people are not willing to pay a premium for it. Today the shift is like that across all the industries, not specific. It could be beverage, could be ice cream, it could be food, non-food, home care, all fields. The homework has come back from Nielsen ratings and multiple other players that the end consumer would like to have but not take the cost burden. So how to address this? That's the larger overarching theme. So the way to address this is primarily in design. Design not of the package, but design of the entire supply chain and the business model. So at Alpla, what we've done, and it took us a few years to think through, is we are producing the packaging, we are producing the decoration, and now we are producing and filling the product all under one roof. It took us 5 years to come out with this idea because no one has done this in the world. And it was a first in the space of beauty and well-being basically, because products and formulations are very complex. Each one is unique. So you can't just run it like a beverage line where you run a cola or a Pepsi or a water line. So inspired by that industry, we did this. So business model wise, we reduced a lot of carbon footprint. We changed the terms of engagement of supply chain. We reduced inventories. And our clients are very happy with this because they don't need to look at 5, 6 other locations. It's all done at one place. So we changed the business model. Second thing is on innovation and the design space. We are lucky to have a lot of good designers. So we design the product for recycling. We design it for reuse. And it's then part of the circular economy. So at the design phase itself, we have planned this. But we were doing this before it became popular on social media. We've been doing this for about 30 odd years. So we have, I think, nearly 400,000 tons of recycling material we've been consuming for a long time. We're just advertising this now online because it's part of the conversation as it is now. And we have come out with something interesting in Europe. It's in trials right now. We've eliminated the label. What we have said is there's certain products that don't need a label itself so that you can design it for recycling. We imprint the QR code in the mold itself. So it's part of the mold. And through software updates, you can keep basically scanning it. And so you track and so on and so forth. And so recyclability is also possible. So you change the business model, you do innovation, and you design. So these are the three ways one can be aware of how to sell something without pushing the cost to the consumer or to the brand owners, and through thought process and design. So this is what we've done at Alpla.
Thank you. Very well explained, actually. And I'm surprised that on the recycled, the cost is actually the acceptance is also up to 100%. The people are ready. This is something really interesting. How many of you have faced the challenge in the supply chain for the recycled? Is challenge? Okay, we'll come to that. And also, actually, Peter has said about the QR code. I just want to mention about the regulatory. Now, for not food and the food, some part QR code is allowed without the mandatory things. But for the cosmetic, we are trying to get in, but it is not yet allowed because mandatory requirements are still need to be mentioned by printing. If that comes, that will really save the space and the label size also, so that can reduce the cost. Now coming to Sridhar, Sridhar, you are one unique person here who have handled the beauty, you have handled the personal care, you handle the health care, food, all the actually the segments you have handled yourself in the packaging. And when it comes to the sensorial, because in working in FMCG, FMCG is all about people look at the product through the eyes. It's not about only the feel, but it is the first is the eye. And when people says about the sensorial and consumer likability, and we used to give the example of South Korea, then China, Japan. And when we visit here and we see the beautiful packaging. So that particular change has happened over 5 years. The good sensorial packaging have also started coming into the India, or Indian actually a lot of players have started doing it. So how you see the sensorial packaging, whether the consumers are ready today, and also the cost factor, of course. So what you say on the sensorial part of these 3S?
Okay, thanks, Prabodh. So I would start this sensorial part of it is more from the design angle of this thing. And it's about creation and scaling. So creation is, the 3S part of it, 3S and a T, which is sight, smell, and sound. And the T is about, the touch. So that's how it is spanned. And each element of it is critical. Now, for the beauty space, of course, we are very cognizant of the fact that, we have to give each and every day, something which is, which is likable by the consumers, by touch or whatever it is in the market or in an e-com business, because at the end of the day, they get it in their hand. And that's how, they see in the screen and they get in the hand. So what they see on the, their devices and what they get should be almost be the same. So we need to make it more exciting. So there is something called theory of emotional association, which is more on the neuroscience, neuromarketing part of it, which is, talks about the sight, smell, and the touch as the 3 key ingredients to, instigate a consumer. So that's how it is. So example, so a couple of examples of colors which is there. Coke, which is red, which is more vibrant, and hence it is connoted with energy. Blue, which is more caring, so Nivea comes into that category. Green is more of sustainability. Black and gold becomes premium and exclusivity part of it. So that's how the entire thing. And just to make it interesting, I've got something in my pockets. I will just show you. And generally I carry something which I always like. So now this is all theory, and I think we should experience this. Coke did a very good example about 5-6 years back in Turkey, where they had this thermochromic inks. So you dip it in, so only when it is cold, which is freezing, this thing, not freezing, it is cold, the ice cubes are seen. So as you drink the Coke can, the ice goes away, the ice cube goes away. So it becomes blank completely. So they had made millions of cans of that, and they were quite successful in that. So that is one example. There is a vodka example from a Swiss company, which turns blue, when you are in a kept it under 5 degrees centigrade. So the entire transformation of the color shows that we can drink the vodka. So these are all the side part of it which has got translated into the actual physical examples. Now I got 2 examples with me in my pocket. So the first one, and I'm just taking to the next level. One was a sight. The second is the auditory part of it, which is the the hearing. This example, there are 2 examples, which is one from our own kitty, which is on the vitamin C serum, and the other which I picked up long time back, and I loved this pack. Generally, how will you open a metal can? Just guess. Flip. Okay. Or a screw on. Okay. But this one, this particular container, and it is done about 15. It's a patented design, but it's a lovable design. So you have to snap it. Now, that's how the opening happens. So you open it.
Oh.
Okay. Close it, and this is closed. Okay. So the engagement which it brings with the consumers, is completely to a different level. Now I love these sort of design packs, which is, engages with the consumers at all levels. We had created something like that, and this is recently launched, our plum pack, where it's a simple airless pump inside, but the entire thing is about the click fit. Okay, so we had this. We tested with consumers. They kept on clicking it. So that's how it went about. So these 2 are the classic examples, and there are a lot of examples which I think which can be shown in the market. See, he picked it up. So that's how it is. There's other examples which is there in the market. I think we have got mucinescence, which is, so the site needs to get translated into the engagement. Okay, so now if you see our vegan mucin, plum vegan mucin, this thing serum, where when you open the pack, it becomes like a flower. In fact, I had put it in the LinkedIn. I loved that pack. The design, everything came out so perfectly. And of course, our partners, the suppliers, are brilliant enough to do that. So that's what it is. A little bit shift from there. Now, how do you see 2 tubes or 2 packs to be there in a carton? Generally you will feel that हाँ एक डब्बे के अंदर डाल दो, 2 ट्यूब को डाल दो और बेचो. But I think we went to one step ahead. Okay, so we created something like this.
कितने लाए रहे ऐसे कितने एक दो तीन
इसलिए मैं लेके आया because I think it needs to be interesting when
It's like
people see that.
बचपन में वो जो
so
आता था ना
yeah, so this is our pack. Now, if you see, this is a trapezoidal pack. So we have got two. So brand team liked it because they could have more brand space to this entire thing. Okay, so they had put the two packs on the two panels. So now, if it can do two, why can't you do three? Okay, so this is how we recently launched our saleable pack, which was our body creams and all. So three products and three panels. So whenever a consumer sees the pack, he feels that yes, there are three items in this. Okay, unlike a crowded carton where you say that it is a 3-pack, something like that. So I think the engagement is very critical, and that's where it goes in. Smell, yes, it is there. It is still not evolved that much. It is more on the scratch and sniff and all. But I think it should be more on the sight, the touch and the feel, the effects, which is critical to this entire thing. So I think, and design plays a big role, the material plays a big role, and technology plays a big role. Okay, so that's how it is. Thank you.
I think thank you Sridhar. If anything is left in your pocket, okay, you have finished all.
I think that deserves a big applause to Sridhar for that.
See, actually, in our session, we always give some gift, and all are sponsored by our speaker. So you may get some 2 days, 2 nights to Singapore. What do you say? Bangkok. Okay, he liked Bangkok. By the way, when he took the Coke name, he didn't say anything, Vaibhav. And when he said vodka, he was laughing. So I have noted that. So Vaibhav, I have noted. And now you are saying Bangkok, so I understood. But not jokingly, we have so many gifts. Correct, Akanksha? We have gift for our audience. And you have to be smart to ask the question. You need to be sustainable also, short. And you also need to be sensorial, so effective. And we have now 9 to 10 minutes. With your permission, we'll keep it open for the dialogue. So that will be more two-way. So Vaibhavji, is okay? Yeah. So we will open up, and again I will come back to you the last this. And your question will attract the prize. And my panelist should say yes, Bangkok or Paris, he will take you to Paris and to Japan. But they should like it. It's not compulsory. Okay.
Hi.
You introduce yourself and ask the question.
Hi, am I audible? My name is Deepak. Thank you for insightful discussion.
Can you be little?
My name is Deepak. Thank you for insightful discussion on packaging. I have a question related to anti-counterfeiting feature on the packaging. Vaibhav and Peter sir briefly touched upon it. So, as Peter sir mentioned, anti-counterfeiting does not work as accurately as it should. And in some cases, there are additional costs as well. It could be special ink or special devices that consumer will have to use. So brands are not ready to use it. My question is that which industries and brands are particularly looking for affordable packaging which is easy to use? If you guys, based on your experience, could shed light on that.
Very nice. Please, Deepak, baitho. I think, Peter, you will say because you use the word counterfeiting, and you also can add, anybody wants to.
Okay. I think to answer the question, everybody would like to have an affordable packaging, irrespective of category. So there is no category that is kind of an unlimited, working on an unlimited budget. Every category works on a certain, if I understood your question correctly. So while the aspirations are there, like enablers, digital connect, anti-counterfeiting features, etc., how much your brand can afford is something that is critical to the question. That is number one. And whether it is effective, whether the counterfeiting feature, what you're adding to, is it effective? Because you must be aware that there are different types of counterfeiting features in the market, but whether the consumers are going to understand, whether consumers are going to experience it and make a differential call on that. And the second point is that whether consumers are really concerned about it. So generally it works in a way that anti-counterfeiting features is an indicator for the brand owner to find out whether the counterfeiting is happening and how to legally address it in that point or in that geography. Have I answered your question?
I think, yes, you want to add? I think you have beautifully said, and what he was asking more, which companies are doing any example like that. So if,
Sorry, if may I add, what I'm trying to ask is that industries or brands which are struggling with counterfeiting are likely to look for such features. So my question is that which industries and which brands are looking for
that's it's covering. Sridhar sir is covering.
So just to add what Peter said, I think we should be very cognizant of the fact that what are we looking for? You know, as a consumer, so there is something called covert and overt. Okay, so we should look in for a covert, it should not be a covert, overt features, which is visible to consumers. Now, how many times you have gone to the medicine shop and, seen and taken anti-counterfeit stuff and then, taken the medicine. So unless and until it becomes overt features, consumers will not be happy. And I've got a lot of holograms, a lot of people who come, they put a sticker. But unless and until it becomes, adding value to or adding cost to the entire pack without an over feature is a waste. That's what I would just summarize.
Thank you. Deepak, please come. We'll have some gift for you because you have asked a very pertaining and very important. By the way, in FMCG, 11% is a counterfeit product. 11%. It's huge. And it is everybody's pain that how to identify and how to control. And packaging solution, if we get 100%, nothing like that. But unfortunately, what you become a smart, the counterfeiter become more smart. So that is also we have found that. That bottle. Okay, please. Deepak, oh. You want to give on stage? Yeah, please. तो उससे तो please आप ही दे दो. So it is not a planted question. He is Deepak.
Sir, I'll speak to you.
Please, thank you. अरे ताली तो बजाओ भाई.
Come on.
Any other question? We'll go with.
I'll just take 10 seconds to add on because then I need to bounce for the next session. Zandu Balm and Imami are very cheap products. We've spent a lot of money on redesigning this in a way where people could not copy this. They tried to pad print, they tried to do various designs. So if you look at the flow, I can just pass this around. It's just, yeah. So he'll just hand it out. You can look, there's a leaflet that flows through. So the technology is the most expensive, but because of the scale and the amount of coverage that we got due to the sale loss from counterfeit, Imami was able to do that. And then they spent the same money for a 1 rupee pack. To answer your question, where it happens the most, it happens on the 20-liter water. That's where a lot of counterfeit happens. It happens in LPG gas, and it also happens in engine oil. So there's a company in Indonesia called Federal Oil, where in order to pour the product out, you have to break the cap and the neck off completely. So they have made an innovation that's a tri-injection. For someone who's quite technical, they'll explain to you, but basically there's 3 injection points. And Federal Oil is somebody who you can research, and they have done this for anti-counterfeit.
We have 3 minutes to go, so I can take 2 questions. So to this first, lady.
Hello, sir. It has been an interesting session. I might have like 20 or more than those questions. Actually, I'm Payal Patel. I'm from Bangalore, and I'm innovator and founder at AgroPack Private Limited. AgroPack because we have innovated a material using agricultural residue, and we make packaging of that. I have a prototype here if you would like to see. So, but I'm looking at whether big firms like yours would be interested to collaborate with innovators like ours, because we keep the affordability in mind when it comes to this, and a lot of agricultural byproduct is not being used in the ecosystem. And in North India, as we see fibers being burned, in South India, we have seen coconut shells being not used and just thrown out. So we have made it using coconut shell here. And we make sure that it is functional as well. So we have done a lot of R&D on the functionality so that it is easy to use as far as plastic or glass. So, I would like to know whether a collaboration like that would be something you look for, and how does that work?
So thank you, and I think I congratulate you for actually starting something in this space of innovation.
Thanks.
And this is a need of an hour. And before the question, the answer your question, Let me tell you, this is a new space, and please consistently, continually you do it, because many of the brand owner are interested in this space. So do not worry about your future. There's a huge future, and this particular space is very much in demand. Anybody wants to pick up this question?
I'll connect you with my brother. He's heading our sustainability. He just happens to be in front of you. So we use sugarcane and we use beetroot and certain other products.
Okay.
It's not price competitive with PET right now, but it's getting there. So Brascam is doing that.
Oh, nice.
Essentially, you're doing the same with local products in the south, so it should work. Our TC director also happens to be here. Fantastic. So you can connect with him. He runs the trials. And generally, Alpla believes in design for recycling. So in front of you and behind you, you can immediately find somebody. Yeah.
So this is the actually power of this conference, where you get connect and also the business.
Vaibhav, I think you have to leave for your next session. So we're going to thank Vaibhav.
Yeah, 1 minute. Ma'am, you please come. We'll also honor you for asking a right question.
Okay,
and
can I
Vaibhav
have-
also.
No, we'll just give her right now. Vaibhav has to quickly run for the next session. So can we have a huge round of applause for him, please? We're going to have Vaibhav do the honors. And he's giving her business also. We have room for one last question. I'm sorry, I've been taking the mic from this gentleman for quite some time.
Yeah, hi everyone. Raghav this side. So I have a question to the whole panel and especially Mr. Peter, because as we rightly discussed, the upcoming traceability technologies like RFID and NFC tags as a form of a label. So what do you think can be the application, foreseeable application we can see in the cosmetic industries, as well as for the counterfeiting applications used for RFID and NFC tags?
See, RFID in today's scenario, how fast or how far it is from becoming a reality in the country is only time will tell. But as and when it happens, it will be more of, say, creating consumer connect, digital consumer experience. Then it will be kind of somebody like a package becomes a connector or a medium to advise consumer for the product use, guiding on the product use, kind of making more aware about product benefits, comparison. Maybe if they want to do a little bit of research into similar products or product applications. So it becomes all of a closed loop kind of a consumer connect. Say today, if you ask me what a brand manager would like to do for their product, it would be that somebody want to go to a consumer's home and then help them with that product use. That will be something which is not practically possible. And that is what I think these technologies will kind of help to enable, in terms of instead of somebody personally visiting, it is that through technology, the consumer can connect with the brand and experience it more. That is how this space is going to evolve.
And maybe augmented reality can be used as an extension of this technology as well.
Beg your pardon?
Augmented reality as well for the extension of this technology.
Correct. Augmented reality, that is also, that comes into, say, beauty and cosmetics, where these technologies can be used for creating augmented reality for the consumers, right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. You please also come. We'll also honor you with the small gift. And Vaibhav has gone, so Bangkok trip has gone. So, yeah, we'll give it later. No problem. So, I just want to conclude this session on the fantastic first. Give them a big hand. I think they have really opened up and shown you many samples, and only the Peter has not shown any sample because your products are not supposed to be fitting into your pocket. Yeah, they are become so smart. They are on the... It is a virtual reality. Okay. So, friends, how many are from the brand side? Raise the hand. Brand side. Okay. And how many are from the production, manufacturing, third party side? Okay, great. So please interact with each other also, and do not only seek the guidance from, but the person next sitting to you might be the expert. So thanks the organizer, and thanks both the panelists and all the three panelists, Vaibhav, Peter and Sridhar.
Can we
Thank
have
you.
a huge round of applause for them, please? A very, very big thank you. In fact, these are our expert panel of packaging experts here with us on stage. Thank you so much for that rich and practical deep dive into how design, sustainability, and tech are reshaping the shelf experience. We have a small token of appreciation for each of you, requesting Hazel Menezes from CMPL team to please come on stage and do the honors. To our moderator, Dr. Prabodh. Can we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for moderating the session. I really can't hear the claps. Come on, let's use in some energy. To Mr. Sridhar. Thank you. And to Peter. We'd also like to have a group photograph